Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. We are going to run 6.3.2 Power Shield and Plague Mind path today. So this is part of the boosted parts in 6.3. So if you're unaware, you can use mutant champions with genetic accelerant, or if not, you can use some champions without boost as well. We'll discuss all of them in this video, guys. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, leave a comment down below. All of that really helps me out a lot and motivates to keep me going. Now if you're going to use a boost, as you see the infographic in front of you, try to use mutant champions that have high damage specials. So I'm talking about a Magneto. You can use Domino. You can also use Sunspot, Colossus, all of them. And we're going to use Genetic Accelerant. Now if you don't use a special and you will lose your power from Plague Mind, that will give a prowess buff, increasing your special damage. And combine that with Power Shield, that would be, it will take only one L1 or L2 to kill off your opponents. Other champions that are really amazing for this path are going to be, again, high damage special. So you can use a Captain Marvel movie version, you can use an Iceman, you can also use Namor, and this is a path made for Corvus and Ghost, so you can use anyone you like. Just a quick tip before we start the video, do not use any champions that have power gain, because this path also has power reversal, so you will not gain any power and you will be stuck on 0, and power shield does not allow you to do damage with simple basic hits, so you will be stuck. So do not use champions with power gain like Mordu, Hyperion, or even Arcus. So the team I am going to bring is going to be Corvus, of course, because he will hit really hard with power shield. Then I'm gonna use Colossus with Omega Red for the synergy for the boss. And apart from that, I'm gonna bring an Archangel because there are some fights where you will need Archangel. And then one extra mutant champion, that's gonna be Domino, just because I might not need her, but that's the team I picked. So the first fight is against Punisher. Now this fight is without the power shield node, so you can fight it normally. The first two parts are the first two ones do not have the power shield and Plague Mind on them. You can pretty much use any champion. There's a good place to get this fight over and done with. If you have a magic, she is amazing, a power shield, and you can use magic to also bring down Punisher, because with Punisher his specials do a lot of block damage, so unless you can evade them, you can use a power controller as well. Next up is going to be Daredevil. Now with Daredevil, he evades all projectile based attacks, so you can use a Corvus here. Now the first fight with Corvus is going to be an annoyingly long one because you don't have any charges on you. So what I usually like to do is to build up to an L1 and then wait for him to block. Once he's blocking, just right there I will use my L1 so he can evade, and then I can easily parry and use my heavy and I get one charge. Once I have that charge, then it's a simple and quick fight. I will just build up to my L2 and make sure that I have those charges and my rinse and repeat my L2s to kill him off pretty quick. These are the two longest fights in this section, and then once you go into the power shield, Corvus and Archangel make quick work of this fight. You will also notice that I have boosted really well for this path. I would suggest you guys to use 200% class boost for whatever champion you're going to use for power shield. If you're going to use a magic, use the mystic boost. If you're going to use Corvus, use the cosmic ones. Same way, every class has certain champions. If you're going to use Blade can work great with the 200% one. Same way in size, Wasp will work amazing. So there are different champions and different classes that work amazingly with the 200 boost. So yeah. So now the fun really begins. The first fight is going to be against Kingpin. Now with Kingpin, don't try to parry and hit him unless you parry and you wait for him to ensure that the parry is sticking. What I usually like to do is to build up to his L1 and then I want just trying to bait his L1 over and over again. So with this power shield and power gain, it's easy to build up the champion's L1, so you can just give him 3 or 4 hits, and with extra power gain he will get to an L1. Just keep doing that and let him throw an L1. If he's stubborn, you might use your HP, you might lose your power, but that's not a problem. You can build that back very quick, as you will see in the fight. You just need to get to one L2 and that's about it. It's game over. So yeah, you're just going to build up to an L2. Just be wary about the plague mine and then use it, and if you're boosted right, you will get all of your power back, just like that, 2 in a row. You can do the same if you use a mutant champion as well, like Colossus will be amazing here. So again, it's up to you what kind of champion you want to use. Now this fight is going to be an Agent Venom. Now again, Agent Venom, again he will shrug off your parry, so just be careful with that. I am just going to use an Archangel because Archangel is amazing bleeding opponents down, and I want to save up my Corvus for the upcoming fights, so I'm just going to use Archangel here just to finish her off quick. Again, his neurotoxins and bleeds, they give damage, so becomes a pretty easy and straightforward fight. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We will just melt away in front of you. Next fight is against a Ronin. Now he is Avenger, so it's good to use a Corvus here so you can get another charge out of it. Just be careful about the specials, they are unblockable. Apart from that, pretty simple and quick fight. You will build power very quickly, so just parry and build up your power and just use an L2, and that's about it. He will die very quickly. Again, if you're going to use a 200 boost, don't boost too much high on your 20% attack and health. Just use a 200% boost and maybe a 10% attack and boost, so when you use an L2 you don't go to an L3 straight away with the power back, because that can happen with Corvus sometimes. See, that was so close. So you just need to be careful about that you boost the right amount, otherwise the critical damage goes too much high and then you get too much power back and you have to go to an L3. So just make sure if you use a 200 power boost, use the 10% health and attack boost. If you use a 150, then use a 15%. So just a quick one. Now this next fight is a really interesting one, that is against a Gwenpool. Now Gwenpool's signature ability is that she cannot die with specials, and couple that with power shield, so she will not die with basic hits as well. So you need a champion that has good special attack damage and also has damage over time. For me, I brought in Archangel because he's just amazing. He not only has special damage but also has damage over time. You can use a magic over here. You just need someone with a secondary damage source. Do not bring a Corvus, you will not be able to bring her down. You will have to quit at the end. So yeah, a Sunspot will work as well, an Iceman will work as well, a Domino Rulk will work as well, a Magic will work as well. So it's entirely your choice who you bring up. Now this next fight is against a Killmonger. Now with Killmonger, his reverberation can be annoying, so he will give you back all the damage. So you need to be very careful, not do the same mistake I did. I used my L2 when I did not armor break him. I had that in mind, but then during the fight I just didn't notice that his reverberation is up, and I just used my L2 and I got down to 1% health only. I think we'll be just here, so you just need to be careful about that, and then they'll be fine. Like I used my first one, and then on the second one I mess it up and he gives me back a lot of damage. So just make sure that you bring in any armor break champion, and a Hyperion will work, Captain Marvel movie version will work. So there's quite a few champions that can easily tear through this fight. I was just using Corvus, so right here I made a mistake and I got down to 1 HP, and I only survived because of the Corvus charges. Then you have another Avenger. Now normally I would go in this fight with a Corvus, because she's not only an Avenger, she also has a evade charge. If you did not get any one of those charges from the beginning, you can get them here as well. But then as I have both the charges and he's on 1%, I want to save him up. So I am just going to bring Archangel and I'm going to bleed her down. Again, pretty simple, straightforward fight. I can also use the genetic accelerant boost here if I want to, but I'm not going to because Archangel can work without it. But if you're going to use any other Mystic champions who is any other mutant champions who is very reliant on specials, make sure that you use the 6.3 genetic accelerant boost as mentioned in the video. And then you have another Avenger that is going to be a Falcon. Actually, Corvus is a really amazing pick for this part because you have a lot of mutant champions or you have Avengers that Corvus really eats. So here as well, I am just trying to hit him, trying to intercept him and push him to an L2 because L2 is easier to evade. Once he's down to L2, I will easily use my SP2 and give him a lot of damage right there, and just there I died because he used his L1. But then if I had health, if I did not mess up on Killmonger, this would have been a simple and easy fight again. But no worries, I have Archangel, he can run through him pretty much the whole path. Archangel can do alone as well without any boost. Or you can also use Domino with Red Hook's energy, they are amazing as well. Now next up again is going to be another Avenger, that is Black Panther from Civil War. Again here, you just need to make sure that you don't parry him while his armor, reflective armor is there. Now if I had a Corvus here, it was easy armor break and I could kill him off, but because I messed up with my Corvus, I am forced to use Archangel. So yeah, just be careful. Corvus can run most of this path very easily, and this is also one of the quote-unquote easy paths for 6.3 if you're doing it for the first time. I actually did a different path for my easy path video, but I did mention this one there. So I will link it in the description here and you can go to that video as well. And finally, we're gonna have a sort of a mini boss, was actually not. This is going to be a Red Skull. He does not have any power shield or anything, so he is the node from where all the other nodes were originating for this path. So this one is a quick fight. Only just parry into heavy with Archangel, and he dies. If you have a Corvus, you can just parry him and convert all of those armor charges into armor breaks, and you can kill him off pretty quick. So yeah, you can easily run this whole path with Corvus and an Archangel, or even with a Domino. So it's a pretty easy and pretty fun path. Now finally we have the boss fight. We have done this before on the easy video as well. So again here you just need to be, there's quite a few things you need to be careful about. I would prefer if you bring in a mutant champion, because every time you hit him or he gains tactical charges, and if the tactical charges go above 15 he gets unblockable. If you go above 10 then he cannot miss. So there's quite a few things that happen, but with mutant champions he does not gain as many tactical charges. Combine that with a node that is tactical in adjustment, so he can become quite a handful if you don't bring a mutant champion. Now in mutant champions you have a lot of options that you can kill him with. Now you can use a sunspot here as well, because with sunspot every time he hits the opponent he puts incinerate charges, and Nick Fury having empowered immunity, it will be very easy to push him to an L2 and then let him use an L2. His L1 is hard to evade, so I would really suggest you to always push him to and his level 2 special. And apart from that you can also use the amazing Omega Red, because he doesn't even have to touch him. You can just use your heavy and bring him down. Omega Red works really well here. Ghost can work, but she is going to be a hard fight because she will give Nick Fury a lot of tactical charges and he will get unblockable pretty fast. So yeah, you need to be careful with that. Warlock can work as well, same way. Again, the tactical charges will be too much, so you need to balance that out. So the best champions to take this fight are going to be mutant champions. Nemo works also as well, so it's entirely up to you who you want to bring. For me, the go-to is Colossus with an Omega Red synergy, and that really works out really well for me. One final tip guys, if you're going to use a champion that is not immune to blade, even in your block he will give Nick Fury will give you bleeds with shank and with increased duration because of bloodletting, but that you can easily counter with willpower. And actually willpower really help you in this fight, because with this block damage you will lose your health, but with the increased timing on the shank bleed and with bloodletting it will give your willpower to regenerate back your health. So you can use that to your advantage and you can bring him down really quickly. For his second phase right now, what you need to do is to stay back. I like to stay back and not give him much power and let him die down to 30%. Once he gets down to 30%, then I will try to intercept and go into him. Ideally, you should have 2 bars of power ready if you're going to play with Colossus. So as soon as he goes down to 30 and comes into you, you can just bait out a heavy and give him an L2. That will usually bring him near death. But again, every player is different, every way is different, so it's up to you how you want to do it. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure to like to the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video. All of that really helps me out a lot, guys, and keeps me motivated. Apart from that, guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.